Hello. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try a new video today, a knit and chat with me video. A lot of people do videos like this and I haven't done one yet because I never know what I'm gonna talk about in these videos. And it's very cold in Oakland today, so I do my heater on. Hopefully it's not messing with the sound too much. It's so cold though, so it's so cold in my apartment. It might not be that cold outside, but it's very cold in here. So I really want to keep it on. So hopefully it's okay. I am gonna try a knit and chat with me video. Hopefully I can like think of some things to chat about while I'm doing this. I have a couple things in mind, and I'm sure other things will just come out as we go. So what I'm knitting today is I'm knitting a little hood. So last year I designed a chunky balaclava and I made a video that was like how to knit a chunky balaclava. A lot of people really liked that video, so I'm gonna do another version of that video this year, but I wanted to also design a new balaclava type item, so I decided to do a knit hood. So it's not technically a balaclava, but it's in the same family. I think it's a little bit more wearable, or it's a little bit easier to wear a knit hood than an actual balaclava, I think. Like, especially the chunky one that I designed last year, which is like very thick and it literally covers your nose and your mouth. So sometimes when I wear mine, it's like a little hard to breathe. And it doesn't really get that cold here for it to be like an everyday item. Like whenever I wear that, people will definitely look at me. So I'm hoping this can be like a real everyday item for when it's cold, because it's basically a hood. And I am still finishing it, so it's not done yet. Okay, this is what I have so far. It's almost done, and I'm using this Mad Tosh yarn that I got from Scrap, which is the reuse store in San Francisco. I think I might, so I already cast off the rib on the face and it's a little bit big. I might undo the cast off and put the stitches back on my needle and knit a couple more rows of rib and then like decrease a little bit. Maybe here I'll decrease up the chin and like here a little, so like the eyes and the chin, to kind of pull it in more. And maybe do a couple more rows of rib, because it's like not loose enough, and it's, I feel like I feel like if it's gonna be loose like this, it should be more like this. So I guess I just want to make it tighter. And then I had originally done about 2 inches of rib, but I didn't like the way it looked. So yesterday I undid my cast on, which was really a pain in the ass to do, and I have never done that before. I saw someone online talked about like undoing their cast on so they could add length to a sweater once. So that's basically what I did. I undid the cast on, I picked it out, and then I put the stitches back on my needle. So now I'm working some more rib, which I'm just gonna add to the pattern. I'm gonna add it to the beginning of the pattern, so you just like knit a taller rib. You don't have to go back and undo your cast on, you know. But I just thought a taller rib would look nice, and instead of redoing the whole hood, just undid that little row. So, oh, and then I'm gonna add an I-cord too, because I'm super into I-cords right now. I think I'm gonna have it go around the neck. Yeah, I'm really into I-cords. I just think they look really nice, and I wanted to design something that had an I-cord. So this is what the hood looks like from the side. Yeah, I definitely think I need to do some work on the face area. Like maybe the rib is too loose. I did a 3x1, which is just a rib pattern that I like a lot. I like the way it looks because it almost just looks like knit stitches, but it's stretchier like a rib, because it is a rib. But maybe I'll undo this and do a 1x1 so it's a little tighter, and then decrease a few stitches so it fits my face better. And then while I was doing this, and I am writing this into a pattern, did I say that? So while I was doing this, I was doing little eyelet stitches So you can see them here. They're like in random areas, and I wrote that into the pattern too. So you just like do them as you please. If you want, you don't have to. But I thought they were kind of pretty. And then you can see where the shaping forms. I kept like these stitches straight, and then it forms out as you go up, and then it forms back in as you go down, and then you knit the top in the round. So there are quite a few steps in knitting this little hood, but I think it's gonna be kind of cool. Oh yeah, and then it has these Boucle braids. I think that's what they're called. Boucle braids, which is this horizontal knit stitch. I thought this was so pretty, and I thought that I saw a video of someone doing this on Instagram, and I like saved it, but then when I went to it, it actually wasn't this. It was like someone doing a diagonal knit stitch on something, and so then I googled like a horizontal knit stitch on knitting and I found this, and it's actually really simple and it looks really cool. And then I added one around the edge where you do the rib, so it almost looks like the knit stitches that would be next to where you pick up stitches, except it goes all the way around the hood, which I just thought looked nice. And I like doing that stitch. It's kind of fun to do. If you want to do this, you will learn how to do that stitch. It's really simple. So that's what I'm knitting right now. I'm knitting a couple more rounds of my rib, and then I'm going to do a couple rounds of just knit stitches for a little roll. And then I'm probably going to do the I-cord, which I'm thinking I'll put in between the two Boucle braids. So I have one that's like going around the neck, and then one that's going around the face, and they kind of join right in the middle where your chin is. So I think that's where I will have it stop, and then you'll tie it in a bow. It's literally just like a bow because it's cute. Like, it's not gonna have any real function. I mean, you could tighten it, but it's not really gonna do anything, you know. It's just pretty and fun to make. So yeah, that's what I'm knitting right now in this video. Let me know what you're knitting in the comments, because I assume people knit while they watch these videos. Maybe not. Maybe you're crocheting. Maybe you're just watching. I'm like always knitting all the time. I watch true crime stuff on YouTube, and I just like knit and watch true crime, and sometimes I'm not even watching it. Like, I'm paying attention to my knitting, and then I realized that I'm 30 minutes into a true crime video and I haven't been listening at all. It's just like background noise. So one thing I did want to talk about in this video are my holiday gift plans, and they're very loose right now because I have like other things I need to make over the next few weeks, and so I haven't really thought about gifts. I mean, I have a little bit, but I haven't like made an actual plan. So today I wrote a little list. So if you're my family and you're watching this and you think I'm gonna give you a handmade present, maybe don't finish this video, because you might hear what I'm planning on making you, although it might change. So continue at your own risk. So I made a little list of all the people that need gifts from me who I have deemed worthy of handmade items. And the first one is my mother, and she gets a few presents. She gets more than one because she's my mother and I love her, and I like to give her a few things on Christmas. So what I have a little list. What I'm giving my mother for Christmas is, so a few months ago at this point, when my sock knitting journey really began, I was like really into buying sock yarn, and I still am, but I've acquired so much of it over the past few months that I've kind of stopped recently because I just have like too much, and I'm at the point where even I realize I don't need any more. Like, I have a lot. I have more than I can work with. Like, I think I could make enough socks, or no, I think I have enough yarn to make socks for like the next year, because, you know, socks take a while and I have a fuck ton of yarn basically. So anyway, at the beginning of my sock knitting journey, my mother and I went to one of the yarn stores and I asked her to pick out some yarn for me to make her socks. And she did that, and then I didn't make her socks. And I saved the yarn with the intention of making socks for my mother. And now that Christmas is here, I feel it's time that I make those socks that I said I would make, because I wasn't motivated to just make them before. So what I am making, and I can show you because I have it here. I can't really show you a lot of the other things because I don't have them here. But I'm making my mother the morning coffee socks from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. So you will see a whole video on that sock process on my channel soon. Probably the next 1 or 2 sock videos will be about the morning coffee socks because I just started making them. And the yarn, I actually don't have the label, but this is what it looks like. Just grab the whole project. This is what it looks like. I think it's like Shetland. Okay, actually, let me see if I can find it online. Shetland yarn? Let's see. I need a picture of the label. I opened up yarn.com and they literally just have a picture of the swatch. Like, I need to see the label. No, this is not what I was thinking of. Okay, I don't know what the brand is, but you'll see it in my morning coffee socks video. So this is what it looks like. It's like a twisted 2-ply color changing yarn. It is wool and nylon. It's sock yarn. And the morning coffee socks are knit toe up, and they have like a textured knit stitch pattern. And that pattern actually calls for you to use like 5 mini hanks, but it had a really nice texture, and so I thought this like kind of color changing yarn would be okay and would still like capture the texture. Yeah, oh, here it is. Okay, so she's definitely gonna get those socks. She really wanted socks. I like asked if she wanted a sweater and she was like, what about the socks? So she's gonna get some socks. No sweater this year. Last year I made my mother a sweater and the sleeves were too short, and I said that I would lengthen them and I never did, so that's probably why she doesn't want a sweater from me. I mean, it has been a year. I could still lengthen the sleeves, but yeah, I didn't do it in a timely fashion, so she's probably not interested for that reason. While we were yarn shopping during the summer, we went to a yarn sale at the yarn shop in Albany called Avenue Yarns, and we got some cashmere yarns that were on sale. She got a red and a brown, and they're like 2 kind of like half hanks, so they're about 250 yards each, which is like half of a regular sock yarn hank. I feel like those are about 450 yards, so I got 2 of those, which are about 250 yards each, and I think I'm gonna take those and make her like a stripy pair of socks because they're the same brand and the same content, and I feel like I should use them together. And since they both are kind of like half the yardage of one, oh my gosh, I'm having so much trouble speaking. Since there isn't a full hank of either one, I thought I would just do like some cute striped socks with them. Jeez, I took way too long explaining that. I'm making her striped socks, basically, with red and brown yarn. So she's getting 2 pairs of socks. And then I really want to make her those Frog and Toad. They're like Frog and Toad knit dolls, basically. You know the story of Frog and Toad? I'm sure you've seen them on like Knitstagram or even just Ravelry. I feel like so many people have made the knit Frog and Toad. Like, I think it was pretty popular last year. I think more people were making them last year. Maybe that's when the pattern came out. But I just thought they were so cute. And recently I made a little knit mushroom. So I'm kind of into making like little plushies and toys. And my mom likes Frog and Toad, so I thought that would be cute. So right now that's my plan for my mother's holiday gifts. 2 pairs of socks, and Frog and Toad. What else? I'm sorry you can't really see my knitting. Who else is on my list? My brother, he will also be getting a gift from me. I was at the Black Squirrel in Berkeley last week and I bought him some green DK weight yarn and I'm gonna make him some chunky socks. And my mother's going to give him a pair of Birkenstock Bostons. So I think we're gonna like combine that and it's gonna be like chunky socks to wear with your cute Birkenstock Bostons. And then I was like, if I have enough time, because you know I'm probably gonna run out of time and not have time to do all of these things, but if I have enough time, I'm gonna make him one of these, a little knit hood, because he lives in a colder place and I think he would wear it like when he's cold. Okay, and then I have a couple aunts that I'm going to make things for. I have an aunt who really loves the color pink and she loves hearts. And I have this fuchsia yarn from Kelborn Woolens, and so I think I want to make her a pair of heart socks. I'm probably going to try to design them myself because I have a couple like heart stitches that I like that I've been thinking about incorporating into a pattern in some way. I also was thinking maybe I would do like heart cables but in a chunkier yarn so they're like really dimensional and almost like 3D. I think that could be cool. But these are all just thoughts in my head. I haven't done anything beyond think about this. And then one of my other aunts will get the same gift as that aunt. And then she has a little dog, and I really want to make a dog sweater. I think it'll be pretty simple, and recently I did the Bolero test knit for Mata Knits. I haven't figured out the proper pronunciation of their knitwear brand, but they're on Instagram and we're Instagram friends, and I've test knit for them quite a few times. So I did the Bolero test, and then she said like, if you want one of my patterns as a thank you for testing, let me know. And I said, yeah, I want the best friend's sweater pattern, which is like her dog sweater. So if I get that pattern, I'll definitely knit a little checkerboard sweater for my aunt's dog. If not, I'll just knit like a scrap yarn dog sweater, which will probably be like just as great. Okay, and then I have another aunt, and there are some slipper patterns in the 52 Weeks of Socks book, so I definitely want to make some of those. I think I want to make her a pair that are more like shoes. You know, like, does that make sense? I mean, they're kind of like soft shoes. Let me see if I can find it. I had opened it earlier on Ravelry. Let's see. They're like I like the elf slippers. I think maybe I'll make her the elf slippers, although those have color work, and we all know I'm not great at color work and gauge. So maybe I shouldn't do that, but I think there's another one. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Histia slippers. These ones look cool. They're like a little lap slipper, and they have color work too, but it looks more like it's within the stitch. It's less, if that makes sense. Like it's the stitch as a whole that is color work rather than like stranded color work, which is where my tension gets off. So maybe I'll make her these. And then I also want to make my grandmother a pair of slippers, and I know which pair I want to make her. I want to make her the Alicia slippers from 52 Weeks of Socks. They almost look like a little ballet flat, and I know she has slippers that look like ballet flats, so I'm hoping that she'll like these. And I will have to make these out of superwash wool because she is a washer and dryer type lady, and they may get tossed into the dryer. And then I recently got the Sophie scarf pattern the Sophie shawl pattern from Petite Knit, and that was knitting up very quickly. So I think I might make some of those for my family, just as like a fast and easy project that's also like a beautiful end result. So I was thinking maybe my stepmother would get one and my grandma would get one, because my grandma lives in a pretty cold place, so she might actually wear it. That'll also be made out of superwash, just in case. Oh yeah, and then for my friends and my coworkers, I'm gonna make some tiny sweaters, because everyone loves a tiny sweater. And during the summer, I was making hangers out of paper clips, and the paper clip was like a little bit smaller than the shoulder widths of the tiny sweaters that I had already knit. So I think this time I'm gonna make the tiny hangers out of paper clips, measure the width of the tiny hanger, and then make the sweater to fit on that tiny hanger, because I think the tiny hanger mini sweater combination like really makes the gift, you know? Even though it's literally a paper clip that I've unfolded, it's just like, you gotta give them the tiny hanger with the tiny sweater for the big like, oh my god, this is amazing response. Yeah, so that's my basic gift plan for the holidays. We have like 3 patterns from 52 Weeks of Socks. Maybe I can find a DK pattern for the socks for my brother, but I don't want to make him socks that are too like lacy or beautiful, because he's kind of a simple guy when it comes to his wardrobe, and I don't want to challenge him too much. Might be challenging him with the knit hood, but I think I'll probably make that in neutrals too. So I think I'm probably gonna do one more row of rib on this and then switch to my knit stitches for a little roll. So I'm into the roll right now. What else am I doing? Oh, I'm also making holiday wreaths this year. I made pom-pom wreaths a few years ago, and they're really cool and they're really fun to make, but you need a lot of pom-poms, so I didn't make any last year, and now I think I need to make up for that. So I bought 4 hoops, which is what I use for like the base of the wreath, and I think I'm gonna make a video about making pom-pom wreaths on my channel, so I'll go into further detail then. But you do need a lot of pom-poms, and last year I just like didn't want to make a ton of pom-poms. So this year I bought 4 hoops, and we're gonna try to make 4 pom-pom wreaths. I'm having a little maker fair at my work, and I'm gonna be selling things. So I'm hoping I can make a few, like at least 1 for that, because I feel like people would want to buy that, you know, because I think when you see things like that, you're like, oh my god, it's so cute, I need it. And in an environment like a maker fair, like you come and you're ready to shop. So I want to have some stuff for people to buy. What else can I talk about? Okay, I'm almost done with this round. Let me know what you're knitting in the comments. I want to hear what you're knitting. When I picked my cast off out of this and then attempted to put it back on my needles and start knitting, I definitely did it incorrectly. Like, I had not done that before, as I said, and the rib pattern for this is 2x1, and I was really struggling to like pick up the purl stitches. Like, I did kind of a lifeline method where I stuck my needles into one of the rows and then I was pulling the yarn out, and it does not look nice. Like, at this point, this is just a sample balaclava, or sorry, a sample hood, so I could like finish writing the pattern, but it definitely doesn't look great. Boop, boop, boop. Lately, I've been really into Boucle Yarns, or I guess I've been really into the idea of Boucle Yarns because I haven't actually purchased any. La Bienne and Me has some Boucle Yarns, and I really want to buy one. They sell them at a Verb for Keeping Warm, but they just have one one like a multicolor colorway, and I think that's what I would want. But I really want to get a couple balls of the boucle yarn and make like a little vest. I think that'd be so cute. Just something really simple to like hold the texture of the boucle, because when I first saw that yarn I thought it was so cool, but I was really struggling to like think of something that I would do with it because it's so textured. Like I feel like you need to let the yarn kind of shine. I was trying to find like example images of sweaters that people had made, or like objects people had made using boucle yarn in stitches, and I didn't really see much. So yeah. I'm really interested in that yarn, but I'm still like, I don't know what I would do with it beyond like something really simple in like stockinette. So if you've knit with boucle yarn, or if you've seen any like amazing knit images on like Instagram or YouTube, Pinterest, whatever, please share them, because I need some boucle inspiration. I really want to do something with the boucle yarn. I think Pop Knit has a boucle hat. I think the boucle that they used for the hat was a little bit thicker than the La Bien Amie boucle yarn. So I might have to like hold it with something else to make that hat, or hold it double, but that sounds expensive. I've done quite a few rows of rib. I think I'm ready to stop and switch to my knit rows. You can see here, this is where I picked up the cast on. The stitches are going in the wrong direction, and I am knitting in the opposite direction, so I had no idea what I was doing. Oh yeah, I've also been really into shawl patterns, or actually I haven't, okay, again, I'm like really into it, but I haven't done it, you know? I'm really into the idea of making a shawl, and I have found a few patterns. There were a few really pretty patterns in the new Pom-Pom Quarterly, the like fall 23, like right, like when it literally is right now. Fall 23 Pom-Pom Quarterly had two really cute shawl patterns with color work that I kind of want to do, and I haven't ever really been like a shawl. Oh wait, am I doing my knit? Oh, okay. I just started knitting. Like I'm just doing my knit rows now, but I wasn't really focusing on what I was doing, and I thought that I had started ribbing again. But no, we're good. I am just doing knit stitches now. But oh yeah, so I haven't been a shawl girl in the past, and when I first started knitting I thought shawls were kind of dorky, but now I'm into them and I want to make one. And I did start making the Sophie shawl, which is fun, and that's like probably a good like intro to shawls because it's pretty simple and it's not like a wild shape. But I do want to make one that's like a bandana shape, and there's one in Pom-Pom Quarterly that's like that with really pretty color work. And then the other one in Pom-Pom Quarterly is kind of a similar shape to the Sophie shawl, I think, where it's kind of like long and like a little bit more narrow than some other shawls. And then I want to make the pressed flowers shawl. That one looks so pretty. And I feel like I saw another one that I wanted to make. Some of them just look really fun to make. Like, I don't know that I would wear them, but I really want to make a shawl. Like, it just sounds dope, like starting from a little bit and then like gradually increasing to make this like large shawl. I also want to make a blanket. Like, I wish my apartment was covered in stuff that I had knit, like blankets and like knit pillow cases and little like knit plushies and knit and like tapestries and wall hangings and all that good stuff, and it's not. And it's because I like never want to commit to like knitting a blanket or like I don't know. I mean, I could make a pillowcase. Like, that wouldn't take that long. I guess I haven't really thought about doing that. I love the idea of having like an epic blanket that I made on my bed or on my couch, and then when people come over, they're like, oh my god, that blanket is so beautiful. And I'm like, thanks, I made it. It's one of a kind. I made it with my hands. But then I would have to like commit to making a blanket, and like the ones that I want to make are like the fingering weight, like fine, beautiful blankets, like the Stephen West. I think he has a blanket pattern that was like so beautiful. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was probably like a brioche blanket with like amazing colors, but it was knit with fingering weight yarn, so it would definitely take me like a year. Wait, how do I filter these patterns? Bundles perhaps? Oh yeah, blankets. What was the one? Oh, I liked the parallelogram blanket, which is like epic color work. Is it, what stitch is it? Oh, it's garter stitch, so that can be pretty simple. And this is actually DK weight, so maybe this wasn't the blanket that I was thinking of, but maybe this would be a great blanket for me to knit because it's DK weight, it's garter stitch. Should I knit this blanket? Like, I could probably knit it fairly quickly. It requires a fuck ton of yarn, but that's to be expected when knitting a blanket because we want a nice like wide blanket, right? Okay, maybe I'll make that. But there was another one, I think. Oh, there's one called the garter squish. Maybe I'm just like misremembering entirely, because this is worsted plus worsted, and it's also in garter, so this would also be fairly quickly to knit. Like, I'm already like what was I? Maybe it was. Now I'm just like looking at all of them and I'm like, was it this one? Was it this one? Like, did I make that up, that there was a fingering weight blanket that I wanted to make? There's another garter stitch DK weight blanket that's like an odd shape, which is kind of cool. Is it a baby blanket? It's small. Oh yeah, it's a baby blanket. It's all good though. I can make a blanket for my cat. Oh, maybe it was this one? The painting waves blanket? No. The star blanket? The star, but it was like a video. No, it was a blanket that I saw in one of his YouTube videos because I was watching his YouTube videos and he had like all these knit blankets in his house that his dogs were sitting on. And I was like, I want to be like that with like all my hand knit blankets around me and my like animals cuddling up into my hand knit blankets. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. But there's also the star blanket, and this, it's also DK weight. Okay, I think I made that up, that there's a fingering weight blanket that I wanted to make. The star blanket is very cool. Oh, and there's a photo of him wearing it like a shawl. I have no idea what I was thinking. Okay, let me just click on one more. There's the building blocks blanket. Nope, that's also DK weight. This blanket is dope. They have some really dope designs. All right, well, maybe I'll make a blanket. Oh my gosh, I am not paying attention to my knitting. Like, I don't understand how people do these knit and chat videos. I just like mess this up. I definitely have some purl stitches in here. Okay, it's only like the last 10 stitches that I messed up. So not too bad. I'm sorry that I lashed out. So today is Tuesday. It's the week of Thanksgiving, which is not my favorite holiday. It's like fun to like eat food and stuff, but I could probably skip this holiday. But I am making pie with my friend tonight, which is fun. And we roasted some pumpkins this morning, and we have like 3 pumpkins, which is like 2 pumpkins too many. And I think we're going to make pumpkin macaroni and cheese with the extra pumpkin, vegan, because your girl has a sensitive stomach when it comes to cheese, or really just like dairy in general. Mostly it's actually like milk and ice cream that like hurt me, but we're gonna make it vegan just in case. Are you knitting? Oh wait, are you knitting? I hope you're knitting. But what I was gonna ask is, are you making any food this week for yourself or your family or anyone? Okay, I'm like running out of things to talk about in this video. I don't know, maybe it's already quite long. Okay, I think I babbled at you enough for today's video. I didn't even get that much knitting done. This is very distracting. I don't know how people do this shit. But yeah, let me know if you like this kind of video where I just ramble about things while I work on my knitting project. And hopefully you'll see a video about this knit hood on my channel soon, if, you know, if I can stick to my list of things I would like to do. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you're knitting, what foods you're making for the holidays, pumpkins specifically. If you have any suggestions for what I should do with my extra pie pumpkin, let me know. And let me know of some epic, wait, I thought I asked for something else. Oh yeah, boucle patterns and blanket patterns. Easy but epic blanket patterns, because I want an epic blanket, but I am lazy. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!